All right, everybody. Another day, another dollar in the hole. We're going to be moving on to another radio for the moment, because I'm having difficulty trying to get that RCA 26X4 to come around to my way of thinking. It's working, but not very good. It doesn't work too good. God, darn mosquitoes. Yeah. It's working barely on shortwave, but it's only picking up like two frequencies. I've went and double, triple taked the tracing on the circuitry, make sure everything was up to snuff. I found two situations that one was caused by me and one was not, but still didn't make that big a change. I'm still not getting push button response in push button mode unless I ground the framework of the push button assembly. But when I take it out of the push button mode, it doesn't work very good. It's got garbly audio. So I went through and I checked all the tubes again. They're all good. The voltages are good. I still need to test the phono input and see if there's good clarity there. If there is, then it's somewhere upstream of that, and it might be in the IFs, because it just doesn't sound good. So I'll leave it at that. Here's my workaround. An Emerson CS272. I don't remember the year. I don't remember the year. It's probably I'll have to give it to you later. I'll put it in a notation at the bottom of the video. It's a dual band, shortwave and broadcast. It's a little larger than maybe a mantle radio, but it's a nice little compact. It's a hot chassis set. Matter of fact, let's see what it says here. Yeah. If I'm having trouble with paper, imagine what kind of trouble I'd have with a radio. That is it. It has number of tubes 6, but when I look inside there, I see 7. Here we go again. I don't know what it is about these off mainstream manufacturing, these radio manufacturers. I mean, it's like some were right on the ball and documented everything, and you got good information. Others didn't seem to care about the doggone documentation and was a little lackluster there. I don't know if it was because they didn't publish any, because they technically did a Chinesium on it, whereas, you know, we're going to steal your design, modify it somewhat, and put it on. But we're not going to publish the information because we don't want nobody finding out. That could be. I don't know. But 6 a.m. circuits, broadcast shortwave, AC DC set, goes both ways. Electromagnetic dynamic, rackificus, moving coil with field excitation coil, 6.5 inch. CS272 chassis equals CS. Table model. It's got broadcast 540 to 1730 and shortwave from 5.6 meg to during fracas to 18 megahertz. And you find it in Writer's Perpetual Volume 11. So that's what I did. Volume 11, page 13. So this is going to be on our plate. In the interim, we're not going to completely forget about the RCA. We're going to work in on days that I really feel like knocking myself out and beating myself to death, so that I'll remember not to touch another one of those stinking ass RCA radios. Okay, so the cabinet is pretty good. That's there's coming loose right there. Okay. We've got a little bit of missing. Well, I don't know if that's missing or not. Yeah, I think some of it's missing, but I think we can dressy it up and make it look presentable. One decal right there. No decals right here. The dial works. This works. I guess this is the band, and this here is the volume. Off on. I think I've already got this dial cover. I'm not sure. Usually whenever I buy a radio or win a radio on an auction bid, I see that it's going to need and I get it ordered right away, so that way it's here when the radio shows up. So here it is. Look at the green. Yum. Oh, yeah. Let me take a taste of that. Yeah, healthy. Yeah, this is going to be fun. Speaker looks like it's intact, at least from what I can see of it. Got an external antenna connection here. This here, I thought it might be for a band selection switch, but it still may be, or it's a tone switch. Since the front is the front and the back is the back, I am probably going to lean towards this might be a tone switch. I'm not sure what this is. I don't think it's an input. I think it's an output. But we'll find out. So the cord, yeah, it's been doctored. The way they doctored them back in those days. So we may go ahead and plug this one in and light up our light. So let me grab some implements of destruction and we'll pull the chassis. Hang on. All right, everyone. Managed to get it out with very little struggle. It was kind of stuck to the bottom. This here was, the staples kind of gave loose over time. So, yeah, it's got a little resonating chamber there that they added onto the front. I don't know if they call this an Ingram cabinet style or whatever, but it's similar. Speaker looks good from this side. The dial looks like it's going to clean up pretty good. And the pointer. A lot of dust bunnies. Turn this thing around. Yeah, lots of green. Green grass of home. So, we're going to have a little bit of cleanup work to do on this. It's going to get resprayed, refinished, because we don't want this coming back. Looks like the ends are going to open up like they did on the RCA, similar to what they did on the RCA. Trimmer array here. I think this here might be the oscillator coil. Let's look at the bottom. Yeah, Grick. Ah, surprise. There's the reason why it was stuck. Asbestos. Yeah. Breathe deep, Luke. Yeah, so if you encounter one of these, I mean, they did it back in those days and everything, to kind of, for safety purposes, I guess, and heat shields and stuff like that. You don't have to worry about it too a great deal. If you're 40, 50 years old or higher and doing this stuff and you come across this crap, relax. You're going to die of a lot of other things before you die of asbestos. Yeah, it's not as real dangerous. I mean, my grandpa lived until he was in his mid-90s, and my grandma lived at about same age. Dad, he was in the construction trades most all his life, except for when he was in World War II, and he lived to 75, and that was, I never knew him to go see a doctor. Never in my youth had I seen my dad sick or go to the doctor. That's probably why he lived to 75. I've got another year in order to reach that age. So what you would do in a case like this is, don't freak out about it. I mean, it's not as dangerous as everybody wants you to believe. Let the government worry you more than this shit. Wet it down. All you need to do is prevent the fibers from breaking loose and getting airborne. So wet it down. That way when you go to messing around with it and everything, you're not, shaking up the world. And then peel it off. You see any more dried crap, give it a little bit more spritz. Yeah, wash your hands real good. Like I say, if you're 40, 50 years old, you're going to die of a whole host of other things before you die of this shit. So, and I know anybody that's 40 or 50 years old, asbestos was done away with long before then, but you were born. So, I was born in the 50s. I remember asbestos with my dad handling it, putting it on furnaces and stuff, because he was a tin knocker and did a lot of heating and cooling in the tract homes they were building back in those days. So yeah, his biggest problem was he smoked. And after he got retired and everything, and he settled into Pahrump, Nevada, he did a lot of smoking. A lot of smoking. Because that's all there was to do. I mean, shit, you mostly retired and everything. He took side jobs, odd jobs and everything, you know, to kind of get him a little gambling money and stuff like that. But, well, that was then. So don't worry about it. Don't freak about it. You won't have to call the men in suits to come and help you out. So now that we got that, let's look again at this thing. Well, except for the cord, everything looks original. So this better not give me an issue like that RCA. Yeah. So what we're going to do is this, you know, my schematic, this one here does not show, if you remember, it does not show that resistance tube in here. What do they call those? Yeah, they call them something, I'm sure. What they're like a tube, but they're not a tube. So they show 6 here. I see 7 in here. One of these has got to be this L42B. L42B. It's got a couple of wire wound resistors in it. One here and one there. They only used 3 pins. Ballast tube. A ballast tube. Yeah. It takes a while. So I'm thinking this is an output tube. This one here, this one over here is a that is the rectifier tube. Over here is the input tubes. I'm thinking this one here is the L42B. Gee, it's an L42B. So that is that one. So if there's an issue with it, I'll just bust the top off and reload it with power resistors in there, whatever's required. So I'm not sure what that means. B-A-L, ball. Does that mean ball? You're all balls to the wall. Go get balled. What? Okay. This, ooh, rubber wires. I better take another look at this thing and see. Cloth covered, cloth covered, cloth covered. Flexible wire, cloth covered. Yeah, it's not looking too bad. This could be the oscillator core. I don't know. We'll have to see once we get into it. I got my documentation ready and at hand. So let's move this thing into the bench and we'll take a good look at it. Well, we brought it in on the bench, got it spread out and everything. We kind of blowed it off a little bit, get all the crud off of it, and so we could start handling it. And I got the dumb boys out, both of them spun up, We got the thing connected in, got antenna, external antenna hooked to it, and we checked all the tubes. All the tubes are good. At least they check out good. So there's no problems, should be no problems with those. Identified the E-cap to verify that it was original. It is a 20 and a 40 microfarad at 150, and then looked over the circuitry, a one-shot deal to kind of figure out our bearings, figure out where we were going to check the B plus on this as it came up. It didn't do anything. A bit of a hum, but that was it. So I'm thinking what we'll do is, since I got a reading on the B plus and it was really low, it's down around 40 volts, somewhere around in there, 40 volts. On either side of the E-cap. So what we're going to do is we're going to clip that E-cap out of there, swap it, put some fresh caps in it, and then check it again and see if we get a better response out of it, or at least a good response out of it. So hang in there, we'll be back for more. Alright everybody, welcome back. I don't know if I told you the day. Today is Thursday, the 29th of August. 6 days till 0 hour, and my third Turb T in Glendale again. Okay, here's what we did. We cut that old sucker out of there and put these two in its place. These are rated at 160 volt, in case you were wondering about the size. And we got them identified. So we clipped the leads really short to the tube over there so that we could utilize these pigtails from the tube to the new terminal strip. I had to go in there and put a fresh wire for the common and get it connected up. So we're gonna go with that right now. We'll go with the rest later once we find out if this thing's going to respond now. This here, off on volume. This one here, tone, tuning. And that is the band switch, as you can probably tell from this side looking at it. So we got the dumb boys over there. We got them both screwed up, screwed in, and we're gonna go with those two. I think I got this on already. Yes, on, and we're plugged in to check the B plus voltage. We were getting, I think it was 39 to 41, 42 volts on that. So here we go. We got a surge, 40, 39, 36, rectifact, 32, going down, 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 down. Now she stopped. We're getting on the plus side over here. 39, 42, 6, back to rectifact. Oh shit. We're up to 370 kilocalories. That's on 2 dim bulbs. We are 109 voltaires under 2 dim bulbs. And there's my familiar sound from my halogens. Let's go ahead and shut them down. We're getting a slight buzz now from my CFLs. So Let me turn that a little bit so we can see this side a little. Let's turn that off. Hopefully you can still see. Okay, so now here we go. Let's see. I don't see a dial lamp, but I checked it earlier and it said it was good, so I'm not sure what's up with that. So we'll have to dive into that later. It is a 47 bulb, a number 47 bulb in there. I think it's supposed to have a 0.25 amp bulb, like a 44 in it. I don't think it's going to make a difference one way or another, but we'll check that later on. So I believe since that sound was doing what it was doing, we're in the AM band. We're all the way up. We're in the basement right now, and I got my long wire hooked in. That's a mirror image of our local station. Let's see. That is a closer mirror of our local station.
He's also late on that high fastball. I think he was almost looking cutter.
That is our baseball channel. It used to be an ESPN affiliate. It's a music station now, but they do broadcast all the D-backs games when they have them.
Havoc just by getting on base.
That's our talk radio
really
out of
and wanted him back in the lineup.
Prescott Valley.
And the first one swung on and fouled.
They
Just
broadcast
fastball the shoes.
He's a good fastball hitter. He always has been throughout his career. And that time he had turned the dial up. He didn't care where that ball was. He was swinging. And I think he took it right off the plate.
No balls and a strike.
No balls.
And the pitch to Starling is swung on and fouled away.
Okay, we'll go up. You hear that? Sounds like a bunch of bees in there. Yeah, that's caps. So we're gonna have to change out all the caps. So the AM band is functioning pretty well, as good as could be expected with what's left in this chassis. We're gonna go ahead and start chomping away at the rest of these things, and then so we can get it in tip-top condition performance-wise, and then we'll start to strip it down and get the thing cleaned up from all this joy juice all over it, and then we will think about doing something with the cabinet. But right now, let's see if we get anything on the shortwave. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I don't expect anything really. We're all the way up. We're getting something there. Let's see. A little further. Yeah, that's going to be it for that. So, if we can get that much, we'll get more later. But first, recap. So, see, there was something else I was going to cover, but I guess it can wait until the next segment. Yeah, I'm surprised this thing worked as good as it did. It's a 6-inch, not a 5-inch or a 4 cone. So with that all in the bag, tone works. So let's shut this down and we will think about it. Right now it's a little too warm in here. I'm going to go in and have some watermelon and kick back and catch up on the news. So we'll see you in the next one. Have a great one, everyone.